I mean, compared to what we've had the last 2 models from Cobra,
I think in fittings last year, I maybe fit, and the person maybe got 4 Cobras throughout the entire year, and we have already.
oh, it's way past that. I
way
mean,
past that.
I know we're talking about the driver, but the irons have been just incredible too. So. And then we actually just found out that our 3D printed heads ship. So we're going to be a specialty location that can fit the 3D printed irons.
Yeah, Cobra's getting back into, what did I just say? Cobra's getting back in the bag with drivers. So
the Cobra really good.
Cobra.
It's really good.
Dude, when you're sick, man, it's hard to talk.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over the new line of DS Adapt from Cobra. We've got 4 heads in front of us. For representing each model that they have this year.
Yeah. I mean, exciting stuff so far in the fitting bay. I believe this was the first new driver to release.
Yeah, this was the first one we got our hands on this season.
Yeah, so we've been about almost a good month and a half now. Well, not a month and a half, but probably a full month. Fitting, testing, selling. We have been doing quite a bit of sales with this new Cobra driver. And that's a little bit of a testament to what we've seen, and especially with the 4 models here. They didn't have 4 models in their previous lineup, did they?
No, because the Max K head was the 4th edition.
Yeah. So, Kyle, tell us a little bit about the models and kind of what each one's designed for.
Yeah, so Dark Speed was the name of the last driver, and that's what the DS stands for on this one. The reason it's called the Adapt is each head has adaptive weighting. So, for example, your Max D head has the weight all the way towards the heel. Your X head's a little bit more neutralized weight. Your LS obviously has most of the weight up front with the dual weight in the back. And the K head, which its own unique thing, is, a 10,000 MOI head. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what the Adapt stands for in the name, is that adaptive weighting with each head.
Yeah, we kind of knew, and I mean that was the biggest thing that kind of what every company's gone for now is in the previous Dark Speed line they didn't have the 10K MOI.
Yeah.
And then now not only introducing it to 1 but 2 completely different models. We, funny enough, when we got our fitting heads in and before we knew anything about the product, we only got the Max D, the core head, the X, and then the LS, and then next thing you know, we had another Max show up, and we're like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's been, especially the 10K models, they've been super stable. They've been performing really well.
Yeah, not for the golfer who it's designed for either. We've actually had better success with the Max K head with our high swing speed players than we have even the LS head.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall look, I really like the look of the Dark Speeds. I mean, Caleb and I did our whole driver battle last year, and the Dark Speed LS ended up making it to the finals, which, as you can see here, kind of going into the core and the LS head, the LS is definitely a much smaller footprint.
Oh, yeah. It is a different shape for sure. It's more of a bubble.
Now, did the face change?
Yeah, so it's the hot face.
Yeah.
So it's 15%, quote unquote, hotter across the face.
The Paris Hilton face.
Yeah, it's so hot. I like that there's kind of an Easter egg. The heads are color coded by ball flight. So the Max D head is red for high launch, blue mid launch, black low launch. So LS is black, your X is the blue, your draw is the red.
So a little bit of attention to detail there,
yeah,
is what we're saying.
Yep, and then the Max K is obviously its own standalone product. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, I think Cobra with the LTDX line, that was one of the best drivers when that came out.
Yeah, that and the F9, but that's going way back.
Yeah, that's going far back. And then I would say the Aerojet and the Dark Speed, they did well. They didn't really perform all that great for us in the fitting bay. For the certain person, it did.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've already sold more Cobra drivers this year with the Max K head than we, I think, sold the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
then the LTDX was our
hot as a rocket.
Yeah. So I think you can't really say enough about the performance of what we can see. I mean, my biggest feedback, I really like the shape of them all. I mean, even hitting a 10.5 degree Max D head, it didn't look super shut, which I know a lot of these kind of draw bias heads, they set up much more upright, face angle is a little bit more left, and I think all in all, the setup, and then I will say this off the face, I think this is my favorite sounding driver. It just had like a good punch to it. Must be the hot face.
Yeah. Well, I think the big story with this is the industry's first 33 adapter.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest. I know our rep was happy to tell us when he brought it in that they have done something new on the engineering standpoint, and it's definitely in this adapter here. Now I will say this: this isn't awesome to see for a fitter, and the reason why I say that is, I mean, the ball is always going to curve, so an adapter setting's not going to make it perfect, but it's definitely there to help you if you need it. I mean, but I've had people like, oh, my ball's curving 5 yards left now. Can we go to, bingo card C7 and is it going to straighten it out? Well,
it could.
No, it could, but the ball's round. It's always going to curve.
Yeah, and I think that that was the one thing before we got hands on with it. I made fun of it pretty hard. I mean,
I still make fun of it,
but to my surprise, I've used it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
So
now I will say that each driver has a QR code on it, so where you can pull up the adapter chart, which their chart is actually really good. It's like the tireless chart. The tireless chart has been around forever. It makes it super easy to use, very friendly. I mean, it's user friendly, I should say. Now, I did actually use this, and I brought this shaft in here because this is the shaft that I used in the draw head, because I wanted to see if I could take this 10.5, put it down to its lowest setting, and the face angle alone kind of, I think this adapter will definitely help somebody that struggles with face angle and changing loft and lie. You can pretty much find just about anything.
Well, I think, too, with the shaft you brought in is a good talking point for a second because it's the first company to use Fuji Pro 2.0. Mm-hmm. The shaft retails for $299.
Yep.
Meaning if you buy it if you want this shaft in any driver that's on the market, you're
$650, $599
so
plus $300.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're $1,000 deep on a driver, and with Cobra, it's no upcharge.
Yeah.
So they've got a really good shaft lineup that they debuted with this whole family.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just we saw it with Callaway. We're seeing it with Cobra. You're going to see more and more companies kind of gravitate to kind of finding that one shaft that they want to push to give somebody a more premium option.
Yep.
At a fair price point. Let's look at the data. I mean, I think we kind of hammered home the technology side of things.
Yeah, very simple product, a lot of fun to fit, and like I said, I mean, it's been nice compared to the last two models.
Yeah. So, I mean, biggest thing is what we can do is let's start with the Max D. This driver did what it's designed to do.
It drew.
So we look here, we have the Max version, so essentially the two 10K heads, 160 ball speed with the Max D, 3,100 spin, and average 20 yards left. The ball was drawn. Start line was actually really good, so it's not like I was hitting a big pool draw like I normally do, but 10.5 degree head. I had it adapted to the loft down and, got pretty good numbers out of it. And then the biggest thing is I think the 10K head, I hit it pretty much dead straight.
I was going to say 1.3 right.
Yes. I mean, you can kind of see it was either a baby falling to the left or falling to the right. I mean, that's what 10K is designed to do.
Stability.
Yeah. 2,700 spin, 14 degree, same launch as the draw head. I mean, no complaints there. I mean, did exactly what it's designed to do. All in all, I mean, I can't. My word is stable, straight and stable for those Max heads. All right, so then we have the core head, so the X, and then the LS head. Now, I will say the X was the worst one that I swung this morning. For some reason, I seemed to strike it a little bit more in the heel. So the ball was kind of cutting a little more than the other ones. So that's where you could see my spin rate immediately jumped up, which kind of to your point, you've done more fittings with the Cobra than I have. and you said the 10K head is performed for
it's for higher
speeds.
swing speed. It's just it's not supposed to, but it is.
And I just think it's just a little bit of the forgiveness factor. For some reason, can you pull up the club face for the X? I'm not hitting it that far off center, and for some reason, you could see just too much in the heel, so that ball was cutting just a little bit too much, and my face to path was relatively decent, so there's just something there. There was something there. I just didn't feel comfortable with it. I swung it 3 times, gave it a fair shake, and I was like, all right, let's move on. For me, I would definitely take that 10K head over the X. Just for that centerness of contact aspect. And then we get to the LS. This LS does what it's designed to do.
Yeah, rocket launcher.
I mean, high on the face knuckleball machine. Now, I did not hit that high on the face. I pretty much peppered the center, and you can see we averaged 166 ball speed. Again, not really going after it, and ball was going a mile. I think, what was my average? My average backspin was 2,300, so the spin dropped way down. And I would say for a lot of players that really need something to knock the spin off, I mean, this is always a go-to for us. I mean, but the biggest thing is what's going to be someone's what might keep them from playing this driver?
Shape.
Yeah. I mean, the face is just a very interesting shape.
It looks like it's inflated a little bit, like a bubble.
Yeah, and we've been saying that. I said that about the LS. I do like this look of the LS over like the Wilson. I think this is still a little bit lower profile from the crown standpoint, but from the dark speed last year to this one, I think it's just a little bit more forgiving, a little bit easier to hit.
Yeah, they reshaped this is one of the 2 models that still has power bridge in it, so they widened the power bridge to add some stability back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think each head kind of we're saying this across the board this year. They're doing what they're designed to do. If we look at the dispersion chart, I mean, the biggest thing look at the bottom here. The draw one drew, the 2 10K heads went. Or the 110K head went straight, little fade, little draw, straight. And then we had the X, which I just didn't hit all that well. It just was going too far right on me. But, I mean, I would say is kind of give me the lump of those 3, and I'll play them all day.
Yeah. Not a golf course that doesn't work out.
No, not at all. And, descent angle's good. I hit the draw head with the Fuji Pro. And then I hit the other 3 with the Graphite Design Game Changer. So I'm kind of using these videos as testing just to see feel aspect, things like that for shafts. That way when we do our fittings, we can have just more information for the consumer. But all in all, I mean, I'm
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what we've had the last 2 models from Cobra, this is kind of their first big push, I would say.
I think in fittings last year, I maybe fit, and the person maybe got 4 Cobras throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
And we have already...
Oh, it's way past that.
Way past that.
I know we're talking about the driver, but the irons have been just incredible too. So, and then we actually just found out that our 3D printed heads ship. So we're going to be a specialty location that can fit the 3D printed irons.
Yeah, and obviously we'll have more to come with that aspect of things. I mean, obviously big news is you had Max Homa move over to Cobra this year. Hasn't been off to a great start personally, but
probably needs to fire another coach.
But all in all, I mean, Cobra's getting back in the, what did I just say? Cobra's getting back in the bag with drivers. So
the Cobra really good.
Cobra.
It's really good.
Dude, when you're sick, man, it's hard to talk. Let's get into some show and tell. All right. Why are we just looking at Ricky's shoes, glasses, and putter here? We got a belt floating in the air right now. No, this was big news in Camo Kyle's golf world last week. I mean, look at him. He's grinning from ear to ear. The floor is yours.
Yeah, that PUD order was placed. I got the shoes, I got the hat, I got the orange shirt, and the shorts.
I think I'm going to order the rain pants. Yeah. They did a rain pant version of this, and I'd be dumb not to. Hey, we're clearly fashion raiders now, and just like them Alpine stuff, I'm in on the Realtree. Now, it goes without saying with who we are and where we're from. So,
well, I mean, he wore it at the right event to wear it at.
Sucks he got sick and had to withdraw. But
have you eaten in Arizona before?
No, I've never been.
Yeah, well, that's just.
Oh yeah, you did get sick when you went there out to No, flush. This is sick. Give me more of it.
More camo, less sweatsuits.
Yep. No, I'll take both. How about a camo sweatsuit? We might be onto something. Did you get the keychain? I didn't even know they did the keychain.
No, that's just.
Oh, that's just like
that's a social media
decor.
That's an influencer package that they did
last week on tour.
But we got a lab. We got a lab. We got a lab. We got a lab.
No, I will say this was a cool post. I've been. Yes, I have a lab of my own, and I've been calling it the YouTube putter, the influencer putter, because it seems that every single person in the world is using a lab, and I'm glad that they finally
got their push.
I'm glad that Lab's marketing went to like we're a tour putter. You know, we always used to hear Scotty, the number one putter on tour, right? And what this is showing, the Lab Mez was the number one putter on the LPGA. The DF3 was the second most used putter on the PGA Tour, on the Challenge Tour, which is like the European version of the Korn Ferry Tour. The Oz was the number one putter. Live, you have the 2.1. What? That's because, or is this finish?
No, this is finish.
Okay, that makes sense. So the putter that they were using when they finished, because I know Sebastian Munoz was using the. And then I think the total footage of putts made was insane. And the greens were terrible in their Saudi event. So all in all, I mean, awesome. I think
We're gonna see more of it.
I think this was Michael Kim's first week using the DF3. And, you know, he had an awesome week.
Balled out.
Yeah, so I tested without my lab this week. The lab's going back in the bag. Breaking news. I'm just kidding.
So went from a lab to counterfeit.
Yes. So as you could see here, Kyle last night went on the line and ended up scavenging up some information of what a future release looks like from our great friends at Odyssey. As we could see here, we have the DF3 dupe.
Yep. We couldn't put the other one on the screen for family photo reasons.
Yeah, we're a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah.
And, but that being said, what do you make of this?
Let's keep it PG. Well, I think it's kind of pathetic, to be honest with you, because a lot of people don't know Odyssey sued Lab for using the term broomstick because they found a legal loophole to trademark the term broomstick.
Yeah.
Which has been a term used in golf since the 70s.
Yeah.
So Odyssey wants to assert their dominance by making everybody call them sweepers now.
Yeah.
And then they come out with they can't label this zero torque. It's still called square to square because their putters still have a lot of torque. So for them to have a lot of their contracted athletes that they're paying use labs and then to basically put the putter in a copy paste machine,
I will say this is only a testament to why the hole just is perfect in the DF3.
Yeah.
Because seeing the design without that hole there, it's just there's too much going on. I mean, their whole point was they're going to give you the technology of a lab at a better price point. And obviously, this is $50 more than the other square to square models.
And it's higher hypothetically in MOI, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if actual players on tour end up trying to use this model.
I don't know. It's one of those things.
We've seen a few jailbird square to squares.
Imitation is flattering.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is every company. I mean, Scotty has theirs coming out.
Yeah,
soon.
April.
Yeah, Scotty has their square to square coming out. Essentially, their zero torque. So, yeah, I will say it.
It's no different than PXG making a spider for what's his face, like a literal spider with a PXG.
I mean, this
logo.
is the biggest thing. Is this is you're 100% right with what you said about imitation. I just think this is. It looks. I'm not saying this. This is like the Temu version of the DF3. I mean, that's just the only way I can say it. Wow, strong words from Lucas Glover. He wants aim point banned from the tour. Why? It's slow. Stomping around the flag is rude. The data shows it doesn't help anyways. Do you agree? I know it's annoying to watch regardless of these factors.
Well,
That's what Rick golfs.
Yeah. Well, this got disproven this weekend because the LPGA Tour had 32 people using aim point, and the average round was 3 hours and 42 minutes.
That was awesome. I saw that.
So this is already invalid.
Oh, damn, Miles. Man, damn, Miles
Perfect.
is on it. Yeah, I mean, this is freaking awesome. Shout out to the LPGA because they've been usually the polar opposite, but 4 hours 31 minutes, 4 hours 23 minutes, 3 hours 48, 3 hours 42. I mean, to play in under 4.5 with a full field the first 2 rounds
is awesome.
Kudos. That is freaking awesome. But to Lucas Glover's standpoint, the data has been disproven. Data. Like he made a comment saying data shows it doesn't help. It's like, well, you're right. You might not have direct data to like go off of, but you can't just say that. There's been a bunch of data guys that have come out that have disproven his statement, and that I will say I do agree with the second point, stomping around the flag. I can't like if it's another player's time to putt, I hate when those guys go up and like they're already getting their feet by the hole while another guy's reading his putt and it's his turn.
Yep.
Like I think it's a little bit of, it's like just get the hell out of the way. It's my turn, right? You could do all your weird little squatting, look like you're about to take a dump on the green, weird stuff with your feet when it's your turn. So I think Lucas Glover's making a good point, but also.
Bad take on it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why professional golf is great because you don't have to do anything everybody else does. You just have to find a way to make yourself better and get better results. So I think players are becoming more vocal. You had the Charlie Hoffman email. You had Justin Thomas send an email. Then you have Lucas Glover. So just more and more going on in the golf world.
Tiger playing with Trump this week, and then all of a sudden now this PIF deal's almost done.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Golf's about to change.
Yep, for sure. So is that all we got? That's all we got. Shout out LPGA, pace of play. That's awesome. PGA Tour, read and weep.
Well, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and turn on the push bell notifications, and we'll catch you on the next episode.